Welcome to episode 1 of the Edgar Sells Viera podcast. Our first guest today is Eva Rey from the Viera Company, Vice President of Community Management and Communications.
Awesome.
Welcome,
Thank
Eva.
you so much.
How are you doing today?
I am doing fabulous. The weather's beautiful. No hail, so it's all good.
I don't think we got too much hail in Viera, but I think in other parts of Melbourne and some parts of Palm Bay,
West Melbourne got it really bad. I have some house damage, so I've been dealing with it.
Did you really?
I did.
I saw stuff online. It almost looked like snow.
It did. It looked like you were driving in Massachusetts. I mean, it was really thick. So, but
yeah,
hey.
Viera was kind of spared, but we got some rain in Viera, which was good. Much needed rain.
We need it.
First off, thank you so much for coming in. You're the first person here on the podcast.
I'm so excited.
Obviously, it was kind of a natural. I wanted to kind of get people kind of within my sphere, right? Mm-hmm. You work for the Viera Company. I'm work for Viera Builders. We both work for the Duda Company, correct?
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
So tell us a little bit about yourself in terms of where you're from, what brought you here to Viera.
Okay, great. Well, I'm actually a third-generation native Floridian. We're pretty rare, but west coast of Florida.
Okay.
I was born in Tampa and raised in a little town north of that called Brooksville.
I like Tampa.
Yeah. So my first my first time living on the East Coast was when I moved to Brevard County for this job. What brought me here? Todd Pokriva. So
shout out Todd.
He's the president of the Viera Company, and we kind of worked together over in Lakewood Ranch. I was the community manager over there, and he worked for the developer. So after he came here in 2014, he called me in early 2015, and the rest is history. So I was kind of asked to come here and do my thing and set up my programs that I've been doing in other master plan communities. So Lakewood Ranch is the number 2 ranked best-selling master plan community in the country. And I prior to that, I worked in the Villages, which is the number 1
right? Yeah.
best-selling master plan community in the country. So I do have quite an extensive experience with master plan communities.
And can you tell us just really briefly, what is a master plan community?
Basically what it says, it is a master plan community. So that means everything is planned out from the very beginning to the very end. And we have very strict rules and guidelines we have to follow. We have our development order approved by Brevard County.
Okay.
And that gives us all the entitlements or development rights for all of the different categories: residential, commercial, hospital beds, hotel beds. So we basically build to those entitlements and we work through the plan. But it is the same plan that we've had from the very beginning.
From the very beginning.
August 4th, 1989 is the groundbreaking day for Viera.
Yeah. And that was Viera East, I believe, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Where it kind of all started?
Hammock Lakes.
Hammock Lakes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then kind of gradually they kind of went opening up. I think it was just different acres of land. And
correct. Just like we do it now, step by step, neighborhood by neighborhood. We did not jump I-95 to work on Viera on the west side of Viera until 1995.
Right, yep.
So, again, just road by road, neighborhood by neighborhood, business by business. We're just working through that master plan.
So, obviously, we work together on some stuff. I mean, I know anytime that we are going to release a new community or there's a community kickoff, we have these, huge conference calls, and, you guys are pretty much giving us the breakdown on kind of what the community is going to entail. I know we have some new stuff coming.
Sure.
And it's exciting for us being on the sales side because, seeing the growth happen the way it is, I kind of have this little joke and I say we kind of grow homes out of the ground, similar to if we go to, the agricultural side of the Duda where they, grow celery and, other fruits and vegetables that they do. It's almost like a play on that, right? Because it is their land. But they went from growing, celery, which I think was their, what were they?
Still is.
It's their, are they, so someone told me, or I think I've read it before, are we the top?
We're one of the top, but 33% of the celery consumed in this country is due to celery.
Is due to celery.
In one way or another, either through our retail or Dandy brand.
The Dandy brand, that's the one that people need to look out for, right? So when you're shopping in a store, in Publix, pretty much all over. I've seen it literally everywhere in other places that I've gone around the country.
Red, white, and blue label, Dandy brand. It's been around since 1953. That's our retail brand.
Right.
But we also sell to restaurants months as well. So absolutely buy Duda celery. It goes to our bonuses. It makes us very happy. Eat Duda celery.
So yeah, I always have the joke, and I kind of tell people in a little presentation when I talk to customers that come in, I said, because we go into a little bit about the history of the company and the Duda family, because it's pretty fascinating.
It is very fascinating.
The whole idea that this company has been able to kind of go, I think it's 3 generations now, more than that, where that's very, very rare when we start talking about family-owned businesses that maybe don't make it past the first or not even the second generation.
Yeah, it is very, very rare.
They are, the more and more I obviously, I'm 6 years plus now, which is crazy to think with Viera Builders and as a Duda employee. But I remember meeting David Duda very early on and having cool conversation with him and asking them questions and just, slowly kind of getting to know more about the history, because I'm curious to know, that was their land growing up. They say they used to hunt and fish and
absolutely.
I couldn't imagine just having almost like a playground.
It's a big playground. And of course the land that they owned back then was much larger than even what Viera is today. So they owned, over 40,000 acres. Viera is 20,646. So, 1909 is when Andrew Duda came over to this country with his family and some friends and started the legacy. And it's just been growing and growing. Like you said, family business. Multi-generational. It's a huge operation, the entire country. We have 17 different locations. So it is a massive operation, and I know you and I are both very proud to be part of it.
100%, yeah.
Just an area of distinction for your listeners. So you work for Viera Builders.
Right.
I work for the Viera Company. So the Viera Company is the master developer for Viera. So we build all the infrastructure, we hold all the development rights, we do the commercial portfolio. We build like the sewers, the roads, all of the infrastructure, and you guys build homes.
Correct.
So you're our home building arm. So there's a little bit difference. I know sometimes people get confused. They think Viera Builders is the developer.
Right.
But that's okay. We're all the same happy family. Just a point of distinction.
I guess it's, we're the residential developer, and you guys are more on the commercial and infrastructure side.
Sure. Well, you're one of our residential builders.
But you guys kind of tell us kind of what to do in some way, shape, or form. So.
We control all of the development rights. We can control all the design guidelines. We have to approve all the plans, all the render, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. So we do everything except building the homes, which you guys do.
Right.
And you currently build about 75% of the home product
in Viera.
Here in Viera.
Yep. We're 75% of the market share. The other 25% is whether it's 55 plus communities or some custom builders, I believe.
We do have custom builders, custom communities. We also have multifamily.
Right.
And that goes to all of our residential units as well.
So going back to, you said, all over the country. I've personally been down to Belgrade, Florida.
Oh, wow.
A couple years back. We do the Christmas toy drive every year.
Yes.
And I know we take stuff down there. And one year I volunteered and I went down there, and that was a whole experience going down there in the middle of nowhere. If you know Belgrade, Florida, or if you've ever been, it was pretty cool. But it was a cool experience, and to know that we were, kind of doing that as a company, amongst other things that we do throughout the year, it makes me feel good, right? Yeah. Obviously, to know that we're obviously, kind of always trying to give back and kind of help. Always. So that's, really, really important.
We have a very, very strong charitable giving process. I'm actually on our charitable giving committee. We meet every month, and, we accept applications from nonprofits, 501c3s, and we really focus in on, the basic needs, animal welfare.
Right.
We focus on strengthening families. We focus on so many different local needs. It's pretty amazing to be a part of all that.
It's important, I think, at the end of the day. I think we're all very, very lucky, very blessed to be kind of what we're doing.
Well, it's also don't forget, it's part of our core values. It
is, yeah, absolutely.
Is giving back,
So we also want to try to talk today about what's coming, right? What's new? There's a lot. There's been some big headlines recently in the news, and there's been a lot of chatter, a lot of excitement, I believe. So I know we have some slides that we can kind of try to go through, because the idea for us today is to really kind of the idea, I think, in general of what I'm trying to do is number one, I'm trying to have fun, right?
Always.
And I'm trying to bring people on who, in one way, shape, or form, have something to do with Viera.
Sure.
Whether you're in community management, whether you're also in real estate, whether you're in mortgages, whether you're an entrepreneur, something. We're trying to kind of base this around not just put ourselves in one box, but really kind of make it like a melting pot of different people from all walks of life that we can kind of bring in here and just kind of have good conversations and, educate, teach, and have some fun. So,
absolutely.
So what are we going to talk about today?
Oh
generally?
my goodness. Well, Viera. Well, as you mentioned, we do have a lot of things coming. But I do have a couple of, I would say, rather interesting slides. So let's just take a look at a couple different things. We talked about history in the company. But let's take a look at some demographics. I find this fascinating because, again, we are a master plan. So we know exactly what our demographics are going to look like in 2050 when we're done.
When I retire.
Exactly. I'll already be retired by then. Currently, we have over almost 34,000 residents.
Okay.
And that in and of itself is amazing when you think that we broke ground in 1989. But we will have over 70,000 at build out. So we're not even halfway there.
Right.
And that is astounding when you look at how much is done, how much is going on. We're not even halfway there.
So to that point, I mean, I obviously get people all the time that will say to me, because we'll kind of give some of these numbers and they'll say, well, there's going to be so much traffic, when this happens and, all these people and things like that. What can you kind of say to what are we doing or what is the Viera Company doing in terms of infrastructure to kind of make sure that when we do get to that number, that it's not like, back bumper to bumper traffic?
Sure. Well, first of all, let me tell you a little bit about my theory. I know we have people who've been here for many, many years, and they remember when it was maybe just on the east side and it was a slow, tiny little town. And they feel like there's a lot of traffic because it's much more than what they experienced back then.
Yeah, absolutely.
But none of our roads are even at capacity. When you compare us to, say, a downtown Orlando or even downtown Melbourne locally, it's not worse traffic.
No. I'm from New Jersey. I know what traffic is.
Exactly. We do not have bad traffic. It feels bad because it's more than what it was when we moved here. So we are required in our development order to do transportation studies all the time. They're constantly going on. And all of the roads now until they build out are all planned out and they're all timed in our development order when they're going to be built.
So I notice, when I drive home, when I take Wickham going west, so I'm talking past the Viera Hospital, it's only 2 lanes, but you notice the huge amount of space that it has on one side to like Durand Golf Course in that area. And, that's for future expansion. I mean, right now we're expanding the Pineda Boulevard. So that's been closed for a few months in preparation for that. And that's what I kind of tell the customers. I say, this is all planned out. I said they understand through traffic studies and through kind of the magic number that we have, whether it be 2050 or even before, that the community is going to slowly grow and the infrastructure is going to grow with the community.
Absolutely.
It's not like places. It's a master plan, right? It's all kind of in motion.
And unless you're a transportation engineer who does these kind of studies, you don't really understand that every home that gets built is a certain number of trips. Every multifamily unit, every commercial unit, every hotel, all of these different uses, we know the number of trips that they generate. And that all factors into our study and into our timing of when these things come on, when the roads are expanded or when they're 4-laned or not if they don't meet that level of traffic. So this is all going on behind the scenes. And again, I know people feel more traffic, obviously, but it doesn't mean that there's a lot of traffic relative to a normal developed town.
Yeah.
So I think I got off track with your question.
Yeah, let's get back.
So again, that's the population. Number of units. So currently, again, we're at just under 14,000, where our development order and our entitlement rights gives us a little over 31,000 residential units. This includes both single family and multifamily. Again, not halfway there.
Not halfway there. So 13,870, or right under 14 is what you're
Right.
saying. That includes residential and the multifamilies.
Every
currently.
residential unit is
everyone
a
who has
residential
an
unit.
address in, okay.
Yes.
Got it.
Also, something really interesting that it's to point out here is our median and average household income. You can see the performance for Viera compared to Brevard County, which is orange, state of Florida, which is yellow, and the U.S., which is blue. So we outperform our median household and average household income, just kind of blow everybody out of the water that way. Also in spending, Viera alone outspends Brevard County as a whole in every spending category: food, healthcare, travel,
Right.
dining out.
We're busy. We're staying
25
busy.
to 35%. We outspend the rest of the county.
That's pretty big.
It is. And it's a great story to tell.
And I think these numbers are important, right? Because, whether you live in Viera or people who are going to watch this, from wherever, because hopefully this, we're going to put this on a larger platform, whether it's YouTube, seeing these numbers is huge.
It is.
Because this is real data that you guys are working with. So this is awesome. This is very cool.
Yeah.
I like it.
Good. For commercial space, we are a little bit more than halfway there for commercial space. You'll see that we have about 3.8 million square feet of office and retail currently built, with our development order allowing us up to 7 million square feet. We have over 863 businesses and 11,700. Yeah.
Sounds so crazy.
It sounds so crazy, but it's true. Think about it. Just go along Lake Andrew. You got Viera East, you got Stadium Corners, all the stuff that's coming in the new areas.
Yeah.
We currently have just under 12,000 employees, but we expect to have over 25,000. And this is in the community of Viera, not for the Viera Company.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool commercial stuff coming.
A lot of stuff going on. Again, this is our ranking that I just want to stop here just for a second. When I first came to work for Viera in 2015, we were ranked number 24.
Wow.
I really wasn't.
This was back in
2015.
2015. Okay.
I really wasn't sure that I'd be around long enough to see the top 10. As I said, I have worked for both the Villages and Lakewood Ranch previously, so I'm kind of used to being with communities who are in the top 10. But this year, so for 2022, our sales record leaped us to number 8. So we are now in the top 10 best-selling master plan communities in the country.
Say that a little louder for the people in the back.
Viera is in the top 10 best-selling master plan communities in the country.
In all the land.
In all the country.
I love
the
it.
Entire U.S. Yeah.
I love it.
So we're obviously very, very proud of that ranking.
It goes without saying.
Yeah, you can also see, 722 homes were sold in 2022, and that's what helped us get there.
Amazing. Yeah. And hopefully we'll continue to kind of climb that list. I think we have the proper people in place at the Viera Company to help us kind of achieve that. I know Todd is kind of in a new role now, and he's I'm excited for that. I'm excited for this kind of new kind of era because there's growth coming. And just without with anything else too, going back to kind of where people were, when I talk to people and they say, oh, it's going to get so crowded. I'm like, we can't expect something to stay the same forever, right? Things need to evolve. We need to bring in, new businesses. New restaurants, just everything has to, we grow, right? We go from little babies to teenagers to adults. It's growth, and it has to happen. I feel like, some people just don't want to see, they want it to kind of stay the same, but this is going to help everybody.
Viera was never going to be that, though. Again, master plan, 60-year master plan. And in 1989, we knew exactly what Viera was going to be and look like. We knew what our entitlements were going to be. We're just slowly working through that. And that's why I wanted to show you the entitlements where we will have over 70,000 people. We will have over 31,000 residential units. So it is coming. We do need to understand that it's, this is not the I'm here now, you can stop building.
Right, yeah.
This is, we will continue building. Viera will continue to grow. Traffic will continue to increase. Businesses will come. More people will come.
Yeah, I think the whole Viera is, if it isn't already, it's becoming the hub for Brevard County.
It will be.
It will be. I think it already is.
It will be.
Because, we're so centrally located. I mean, I love the beach.
Yeah.
Would I like to live on the beach? Maybe, but I'm only 15 minutes from the beach, you know? It's just such a good area to be. The schools are awesome. You know, most of my family lives there, so it's nice to have us all within a golf cart ride to each other's house.
That's so wonderful.
I mean, you know, it almost feels fake sometimes, right? It's kind of like when you watch those movies growing up, like, you know, it doesn't feel real, but it is. And this is our reality. You know, the Addison Club and going there. And I've done some videos recently there, and I've posted, and people, you know, that I grew up with back home up north, they're like, is this really where you live?
Real.
I'm like, yeah, like this is my reality.
I live at a resort.
Absolutely. So
it
very
is.
cool.
And of course, I'm very proud of Addison Village Club because I was part of that project. I supervise. That is under my area of responsibility. And I was there every day with the construction project. I put a lot of that furniture together, picked it out, you know, it's my literally blood, sweat, and tears in that baby. So number 8 in the country, Viera, master plan community. Pat ourselves on the back for that one. That was a little round of applause, right? A great team gets you there.
Absolutely.
So we are a master plan community.
Wow, look at this.
Focus on the future map. So everywhere on the western border, west working in, everywhere in green is conservation. That's the Viera Wilderness Park. That's held in a conservation easement. Will never be developed. And
that was also been planned for...
Yes, it's been in place for a very, very long time. Village 3, where that number 3 is, that's the only village that will be building west of Power Line Road there. We are currently in Village 1 and 2. We're still building in Village 1.
We're still building Village 1. Yeah.
Village 2, we just got our first residents just a couple of weeks ago.
Yep. Yeah. Just Pangea just closed a few of the homes. And then in Village 1, we're still actively finishing homes in Avalonia, a few homes in Sierra and Sendero Cove, and then Reeling Park as well has some stuff coming. But now everything is kind of moving south to it's Village 2, basically, right?
Village 2.
Yeah. And that's
Laurasia and Pangea
Park. And that's where I am, guys. So just so you know, Pangea Park and Laurasia are coming. They're in progress. So.
They are. And there's actually a lot built there. One thing I want to point out with all that green, you know, I know that developers get a bad rap sometimes about building over open space, green space, wildlife. We actually have, through the state of Florida, through Florida Fish and Wildlife, an approved wildlife and habitat management plan that we have a plan for, you know, managing, monitoring all of the
so it's in conjunction
canopy.
With FWC?
Correct. They had to approve it, but it is part of our development order. It's actually included in our development order. But let me ask you a question, Edgar. Just what is built now in Viera, how much open space do you think we have?
Oh my God. Open space in terms of space to build on or conservation?
No, conservation, stormwater, parks, open tracks that are not built on. How percentage-wise, just of a percentage, what do you think Viera is open space versus developed?
Open space versus developed, I would say not even 50%.
Well, open space, what we have kept, preserved, and conserved, 46% of Viera is actually open space and not developed. And that doesn't include...
So just under 50% is, so almost half
is conservation,
Which very easily, again, could have been developed, right?
Sure.
I mean, if we were to...
We have to have, you know, obviously we do have to have some...
Now, is this, and I don't mean to, is this something is this the state that has us do this, or is this just, you know, something that...
Largely, it's both. Well, first of all, you have to have stormwater. You have to have a certain amount of open space. But we went ahead and did the Viera Wilderness Park.
Right.
That creates that buffer between the River Lakes Conservation Area and the development of Viera. And that's over 5,200 acres right there.
Wow.
So, I know developers kind of get a bad rap for, you know...
Overdeveloping.
But... When you say almost 50% of Viera is open space and will continue to remain open space, that tells a story about...
about kind of... Well,
Duda.
We've talked about this in other conversations, being good stewards of the land.
Stewards of the land, that's exactly right. This was their land. Yeah. They recreated on it. They, you know, had their cattle and grow sod, and all of these agricultural uses, this is where the family came to play.
Yep.
They love land.
And we have a few family members, Judas, that work now with us.
Sure.
And I've, they might think I'm annoying sometimes, but I like to ask questions, and I like to ask them, what was it like growing up, on this land? And they said, man, it was, hunting, fishing. It was, like I said, their backyard.
Sure.
So it was pretty cool. But
you
said 46% is open space. That's
never be developed.
Wow. That's
right.
I don't think people know that.
I know they don't because
they probably think we're kind of just cutting down all the trees and doing all this stuff, and it's
that is
actually
true.
not the case.
Yeah, sometimes I have to hop on Facebook and correct people. So anyway, that is as far as we go west, and you can see that's the right adjacent to us on the west side. That's the River Lakes Conservation Area, which includes the St. Johns River. Now we don't go that far because you have that conservation area just to the west of us as well, but we have that entire conservation 5,200 acres of the Viera Wilderness Park also buffering that very sensitive and wildlife area. So
that's a pretty heavy picture to look at, and I don't think a lot of people have seen this. Probably not. I mean, I think that portion of Village 3 is something that looks like it's going to connect Wickham all the way through. I think that's Judge Fran Jameson, and then Viera Boulevard up on the top.
Correct. They will all
interconnect.
Viera Boulevard will actually interconnect with Pineda. So it'll wrap through Village 3 and connect with Pineda. So yes, but everything will extend westward basically.
So this is exciting. I think I'll still be building homes in Village 3, hopefully. Very cool. What else do we have?
All right. So, here's those roads. I think what most people are interested in these roads, some of these are pretty obvious, like the westward extension.
Yeah.
But the Spyglass flyover, it's probably the most...
That's a real thing? I thought that was folklore.
It is not folklore.
It's coming.
Of course it is. It's
very cool.
It's in our development order. Every inch of Viera is spelled out.
So that's going to be another overpass over 95. Yes. So
it's not an interchange. So it basically is Spyglass to Napolo, where Lexus and
Walmart is. Okay.
It's going to come out there.
Almost behind Walmart in that kind of area. Very cool. Okay.
So
is there a time frame for that?
There is. So it's a long, drawn out story, but we talked about those entitlements.
Yeah.
And in phase 4 of our development, we got X number of entitlements to finish Viera.
Okay.
It's once 50% of those entitlements are used, the road is required to be open.
Perfect.
So the timing will really depend on the pace of development and how fast we get there.
So the other interesting one I'm looking at here is the Washingtonia Boulevard extension.
Correct. So we do have a monetary obligation to help the county with that project. Mm-hmm. It is in their long-range transportation plan, but it's not in the near future.
So it's okay. I gotcha. So just for people to kind of understand, because I've had people ask me about that, it's maybe going to cover potentially, but not for a bit, basically.
It'll be a bit.
It'll be a while before that extension kind of connects. Cool.
Correct.
Very cool.
And that is a county project, but we do have to provide funding to the project.
Very cool. Other than that, I mean, so stadium, I'm looking forward to Pineda Boulevard connecting and finally being done. And I know it's coming soon,
very
hopefully.
Soon. This summer we have it planned.
Because that's going to kind of open up a nice little just outlet for folks to kind of either get to 95 or just to kind of get out of certain communities like back by Sierra Cove and Trissona Cove. That's going to be a really nice, and I know a lot of people have been waiting for that. It'll
relieve Addison. It'll relieve Wickham.
Yep.
It'll relieve some of those other east-west roadways.
Well, I think right now, I mean, ever since they even opened Lake Andrew down to Pineda, I rarely use Wickham anymore, especially when I'm, getting on 95. I know my wife, she works down in Melbourne, and she takes the back roads now. She used to take 95 to, I think, Ugali exit, and now she just takes Lake Andrew down and then Pineda to Wickham, and she's right at work. So
it's fascinating when roads open how traffic patterns change, and there was a couple of major ones. The one you just listed was one. That traffic pattern, the Lake Andrew. The other one was the Lake Andrew extension on the north end. So if you wanted to go from the avenue up towards Stadium Corners, you had to get on Judge Fran and go up Stadium.
Yes.
Once Lake Andrew opened, it relieved all of that traffic that could just take Lake Andrew up, because you had to go over and then over if you wanted to go to Viera East or anything like that.
Yeah. Oh, you mean the back road, like behind the high school?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Yeah. Really, really changed the traffic patterns in that area. So every new road is designed to do that. It relieves some of those other roads and changes traffic patterns.
And then that road, that new Lake Andrew, leads us to Barrows West.
It does.
Right?
It does. Do you want to hop over to Barrows West?
Let's do
We
it.
got some Barrows West stuff. Well, really quick, I just want to share a couple of things why people move to Viera. All right. It's a master plan community. They have family or friends who live here. It's close to Patrick Space Force Base. They're being relocated for their job. And we get a lot of defense industry and space industry relocations.
Absolutely.
We have such varied housing options. It's a newer community. Our trails, our amenities. So all of this information is collected at the Viera Discovery Center. And this is just a little word cloud for that. This is a heat map of where people come from. Okay. So you can see the East Coast is very heavy coming down here. That's largely, you're going to have some relocation there, especially in the Virginia, Georgia area. But you're also going to have some retirements. And then again, space industry and defense industry, Texas, Colorado, Washington, and California. We get a lot of job relocations from those areas.
Yeah, of course.
All right, let's talk about these regional commercial hubs. I'm going to start at the top and work my way down.
I think I know which one this one is.
This is the new crossings at Viera. So this is that big news announcement you were just talking about.
The biggest, I would say...
Since Costco.
Since Costco.
Costco was bigger.
Costco was bigger, you think?
Costco was very, very big.
No, Costco was big. You're right. It was. I'm convinced people... I found out Costco was coming from people walking into my sales office and telling me, and I was just, because obviously we're kind of tight-lipped about stuff before things, obviously a press release comes out. But for some reason, people know these things and they start to kind of, it travels, right? This information. And I'm convinced I've sold a few homes to people because of Costco.
I'm sure. Well, first of all, it's a great store.
It is.
And, Costco executives have told us that the Viera opening was their second biggest opening company-wide.
Ever?
Sales-wise, yes.
Like their first, day or first
day?
week?
The first day, December.
Second?
We are the second biggest opening day.
Oh, my God.
That's how big it was. And obviously, I'll go ahead and say this. Pretty much 99% of the commercial deals that we do, there is a non-disclosure or confidentiality requirement. And that's why everybody's tight-lipped about it. We can't legally.
Yeah, you've told me about that before.
So, Costco is 7.5 years in the making before it opened.
Right.
Of course, we all knew what we were doing behind the scenes to get it here. Yeah. But nothing happens overnight.
No.
Nothing happens overnight. So that's why it's tight-lipped. But
back to the biggest news I guess of since Costco. So we'll put Costco at number one.
Yeah.
But number two is Whole Foods.
Whole Foods. It has been confirmed. They are the grocery anchor for the crossings at Viera. This is in Viera East, right off of Viera Boulevard.
Yeah, so just to give people kind of a little bit of so right where Texas, kind of close to Texas Roadhouse. What else is there? The Goodwill is over there.
Yes,
there's
across
a plot
from Long Doggers.
Across from Long Doggers. So in that general area, we're going to have the big Whole Foods. My wife is. I'm like, you haven't had Whole Foods all your life. Like, it's not going to change.
Why are you so excited? It's a great addition to what we currently offer.
And I think
here.
it says a lot that Whole Foods decided to come and invest in Viera.
Sure.
I mean, I think that's a game changer. Just the way Costco is.
Yeah.
We're going to pull people from everywhere coming to. I mean, pretty much. Where's their Costco? The nearest one, I think, is in Orlando.
Exactly, and besides what residents and people who visit here shop there, aside from that, it draws attention to 100%. Other retailers and restaurants. It gets their attention.
It's an anchor.
Got a Whole Foods and a Costco? Okay, maybe I'll look at it.
There's a Whole Foods. What else can you tell us might be coming in that area?
So there will be can't say the name, but there will be a home improvement store.
Okay.
So the Whole Foods and the home improvement store will be anchoring that plaza.
Perfect.
There will be other smaller businesses within that plaza as well. Mm-hmm. And for the out parcels, Miller's Ale House is another one.
I heard about that one.
That one has been announced.
That's going to be cool.
Mm-hmm. Chicken Salad Chick is...
Never heard of that.
So they have quite the following, and it's obviously
chicken salad
Chicken Salad Chick is the name of it. It's a chain.
Very cool.
People are obsessed with it.
So it's just chicken salad?
And other stuff, other stuff. Lighter options, but other stuff.
I got it.
And then just most recently, the Soup Shop.
Okay.
Has also been announced as one of the restaurants in there.
Very cool.
And there's one other Soup Shop location now. There will be one closer to Palm Bay, and then I think this will be the third location.
And then what's time frame for this approximately?
Oh, they haven't even broke ground yet.
Okay.
Haven't even broke ground yet.
But it's coming.
Oh, absolutely. These
Perfect.
leases are signed, and the ink is dry.
The ink is dried.
The ink is dry.
So the top 8, the master plan community country is now getting a Whole Foods.
We're now getting a Whole Foods.
I like it. What's next?
Okay. Let's take a look at Barrows West that you were just talking about.
Yes, and I've done a video on this.
Yeah.
I know I sent it to you. You gave me the blessing.
Okay.
On this. So this is super exciting. I mean, just by looking at it, I know we're looking at corporate relocation. There's several restaurants coming in the forefront.
If you look at those larger buildings, the water features. Mm-hmm. That's what we want to see there.
It looks very futuristic.
It does.
This reminds me of I don't know. I'm a big Marvel and Iron Man. This is would be like Tony Stark's
lair.
Like lair, right? That's what it looks like.
So we really, really would love to see a company come and relocate here, and it's the adjacency to I-95 cannot be beat.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And the Central Brevard area cannot be beat. So that's what we're kind of holding out for, but. Aside from that.
Wow, here we go. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. So the park around the lake is open. You can walk
That's
that trail.
the linear park with the trail. The sidewalk looks really cool. It's like, I don't know how to explain that.
Painted. It's painted concrete.
And you said that they recently added, was it swings that were added?
Yeah, so there are large adult swings up by the restrooms. The restrooms are not open yet because we have a couple more punch list items to do there. But really, really excited about this linear park because all of these restaurants, the hotel, and all of these businesses that'll be facing the water, we want people to use that linear park and walk around the lake and sit and congregate.
You eat a huge meal.
You want to go sit and
go take
fresh air.
Fresh sit or go take 2 laps around the linear park.
Around the park.
And then go home. So let's see what we have here.
So waterside, we have the Hilton Garden Inn, which is a hotel, but it will have a rooftop bar.
A rooftop bar. You told me about that. That's going to be pretty exciting.
We're also incredibly excited for the Olive Tree. Now that's moving from the Avenue.
Okay.
Coming over to the Barrows West. It will be 2 stories with a reservation-only restaurant on top, and then more what you have at the Avenue on the bottom.
So they're kind of changing their dynamics. So on first floor is going to be like normal what we would get.
A little more elevated than what's there.
And then second story is going to be
reservation-only restaurant.
Cool. Very cool. Maybe party rentals too. Okay, very cool. That's exciting. Yeah. I like that.
Also around the lake, we're going to have Tiki Docks, which is that Polynesian restaurant.
Okay. Never been to one, but
this will be the 3rd location.
Oh, okay.
There's only 2 now, and over on the west coast of Florida. It started in Riverview, Florida.
I'm excited for that.
And then across Lake Andrew, of course, we have Ford's Garage. Now, that's what I'm waiting for.
Mm-hmm. I've been there's one in Daytona. I've been to that one, and it's super, super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love the car theme. I mean, you know me,
it's like a garage.
Person.
Yeah.
I'm a big car person. So that is like, I'm just going to sit there and bask in that. And, of course, we have some of the retail that's already open, the Wawa open, Chick-fil-A, Ace Hardware, Sundance Family Dental, Island Animal Hospital. You have the sister hotel for the Hilton Garden Inn across the street, Homewood Suites, which is also under construction. And then the Lens, it's multifamily project at the southern portion of that.
Now, obviously, it's been phases, right? The Wawa's in, the Chick-fil-A, the Ace Hardware, but everything's kind of...
Oh, I forgot. Venezia Wine Bar.
Venezia Wine Bar.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that going to be a restaurant too, or just a...
He'll have tapas.
Okay.
And,
okay.
charcuterie.
That's cool.
Just
that'd be a cool, Friday night place.
Oh, yeah.
Or maybe even before your reservation or something.
Yeah.
But that's exciting for me. I mean, there's... Coming from up north, right? The thing I always get from people there's not enough places, there's not good food in Florida. And I've been out here for 10 years now, and that to me is not the case at all. I mean, even in and around Brevard County, there's great restaurants, whether it's beachside, you go South Brevard, or even go to Orlando. I mean, there's a lot. So to see that there's even more stuff coming here to my backyard in Viera.
Many.
I like to eat.
Clearly, I do as well. I'm very much a food lover. Okay. USSSA, they play a big part of sports tourism
Yep,
here in
absolutely.
Viera. They drive hotel bed. They drive restaurant business. You know, enough cannot be said about what a great community partner they are.
Yeah,
And
no.
so
Great facility.
Oh, it's why
And we get some of those, you know, I've gotten families come in during tournaments in the summer and they just kind of pop in because they come to these tournaments, right? And they're driving, they're like, people actually live here? Like, yeah, we live here. Like, this is awesome. So I've spoken to a few families who, you know, have probably wandered through for a weekend in a tournament and they've made it to our sales offices.
Absolutely.
And yeah, absolutely.
Well, again, you know, if
we
you're
should probably do some more marketing with them. Maybe. Who knows? You know?
If you're, podcast time.
Podcast time.
Get them in here.
Yeah.
This is just a rendering of the rooftop bar for the Hilton Garden Inn.
Everything else, yep.
Ford's Garage. Look at that. That's beautiful. Look at those burgers. Oh, my goodness gracious. I'm going to be in trouble. This is a rendering for Olive Tree that we were just talking about. Again, 2-story.
Wow.
And again, they are integrating with that trail area. So that you can eat outdoors.
Is that really what it's going to look like?
Yeah. That's the architectural rendering. Right? I just saw your eyes get big. That's a gorgeous building.
I mean...
After being in the avenues and then looking at this, it's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, to think that it's exciting. That's very exciting.
Beautiful. Tiki Ducks, again, Polynesian.
Yeah.
You know, it'll be on the lake. Great new restaurant. Now we're hopping over to Viera Town Center.
Okay.
Which is also going hot and heavy. This is our park
I think
here.
that's Center Point, right?
That is Center Point in the background.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So here's just the site map of what we got going on. Center Point Apartments, Luna just opened in March. If you look at the yellow boxes, the last one over there on the left, that is going to be called the Nova, which is the Luna's sister. Now, right now, Luna is 6 stories, tallest building in Viera. Nova will be 7 stories.
Okay.
When it gets built, it'll be the tallest building.
But I think those concepts are smart for those multifamily because they're taking up less acreage and they're just obviously building up
vertical.
As opposed, right?
So it's got structured parking within the building.
I like it.
It also has some retail at the bottom
on the first floor. Yep, I saw that.
So it's multifamily over retail. So this is exciting. This is our food truck park. And what we did is we created a new park, or will be. It's going to be breaking ground here pretty soon. We sort of used as our template Celebration Park in Naples, Florida. So we even hired the same architect that built the beverage pavilion, and he's working on ours. So it'll hold about 6 food trucks, the beverage pavilion. There'll be a beer garden. You can see the open lawn, partially shaded. That's a stage for a band and performances in front of the open lawn there.
And is the food truck park going to be, something, open 7 days a week or, okay, wow.
Yes.
Okay, so those food trucks are going to be like stationed there.
They will be leasing pads and they'll have all the hookups they need to be able to do that.
And then there'll be a little theater, a little amphitheater. Okay,
yeah.
I like it. Maybe
Yeah.
like some summer concerts or stuff like that.
Hopefully
events.
year round. Yeah,
so very
this
cool.
is a great events lawn for art shows, for arts and crafts shows, for if you want to have a jazz festival, a 3-day weekend. Maybe the Viera High School band wants to put on a concert.
Yep.
Maybe you want to do a talent show, what have you. And then of course regular entertainment.
Love it.
That the operator will bring in. So this is the next big
and to give people some kind of some location right across from the avenues.
Correct.
Almost, right?
That's Viera Town Center.
Yep, Viera Town Center.
And Viera Town Center Avenue just punched through to Stadium.
Okay.
So
yeah. Oh yeah, you can cut across.
You can.
Yep.
A couple of different angles. Urban Prime. Chef Urshan is the owner and developer of Urban Prime. We are so excited. This is an upscale restaurant and market.
Okay. Similar to, I believe, the Green Turtle, or it's the same ownership?
He used to be the chef there.
Chef. Perfect. Okay. Very cool.
Another rendering of Viera Town Center with the hotel, Luna in the background. Just a proposed office building. This is the Nova, that other one.
Very cool. I like it.
All right, let's jump down to Pineda. Get a lot of questions about Pineda. You see it on Nextdoor and Facebook all the time. What's going across from Costco?
Oh, my God, yeah.
Well, the answer is a lot. So the Pineda Interchange District is an interchange district for the interstate. So if you look at any interstate, interchange, there's a lot of commercial development around there.
Right.
That's what we're going to see here. We're going to have grocery, gas, hotel, office space, restaurants, you name it. That's going to be on both the north and the south side. But this is also the amenity for Village 2. So Addison Village Club is the amenity for Village 1. The trail is the amenity for Village 2.
Got it.
So largely pedestrian. You can't take your golf cart, but you could literally go up by Arapika and Strong Park area.
And come down.
Come down, do a little circle. You can connect with businesses there.
Sure.
Walk on the trail, go to a restaurant, grab a beer, continue on. You can go all the way down to Washingtonia, the southernmost part of our community. But if you wanted to take Pineda and head across the bridge, you can hop on the linear trail for the zoo as well. So you could do a complete circle. But I think I told you, trails are always our number one requested amenity here in Viera. It is.
And right now, to date, we have how many? I think it's a couple hundred of walking trails?
Somewhere between 150, somewhere closer to 150.
Right. And that's Viera as a whole?
Viera as a whole.
Good.
Yeah.
Cool.
So again, where you see yellow, there will be residential, multifamily, and single family. You have some out parcels here on the corner of Lake Andrew and Pineda. Costco's across the street.
Yep.
The tunnel under Pineda is already completed, and that will help people and golf carts to get under Pineda over to Costco.
Okay.
In an efficient and safe manner.
Yeah, and again, to give people kind of direction, right? This is down off the Pineda exit, right by the Costco, right by Pangea Park, also by Bridgewater. This is going to be connect you through Lake Andrew and also Pineda Boulevard. So
correct.
And this is currently in progress. I see they're moving a lot of dirt.
Yes.
They're building the lakes out there.
They're building the lakes right now.
They're working. Perfect.
Yes. Cool. And you can also see in the middle a huge amount of protected space, wetlands, conservation areas, and those trails will have some observation opportunities around there as well. New fire station. So what we're looking at is Stadium Parkway and Pineda, and where the new fire station is going to be, that's going to be serving this area.
Okay.
Starting construction this year.
That's good.
And it'll take about a year to finish.
We like our firefighters and our first responders. Yes.
We do. Well, we've talked about how much Viera is growing, and so you need more fire stations.
Yes.
So this will be in Village 2. All right. Now we're coming into your area of things. So this is the future of Village 2 when it comes to residential. There'll be about 5,000 residential units here. Whew. So let's start up by Arapika. Arapika is a custom home builder community. And that is already underway as well. You can see the construction of the gatehouse and the fence, and et cetera. We'll have a Viera Builders neighborhood just south of that. Mm-hmm. We'll have 2 multifamily developments, Davis, which is already in progress. Right. And then a future multifamily over by I-95. Of course, we have our lovely Costco right there.
Lovely Costco.
Just south of that, we do have another Viera Builders neighborhood.
Yep, and that one's right next to Pangea. I know exactly where that one is. Yep.
And of course, Pangea and Laurasia. We'll have I have some pictures here that you can talk about in a little bit. We also have the Viera Builders neighborhood just north of Pangea. Yep. And here's something really exciting that we're trying out. So over by the firehouse where you see the proposed SFR, that means single family rental. Okay. So the single family rental market is really expanding right now. And so that will be a rental community for single family homes.
Very cool.
Yeah. And then we have a Viera Builders neighborhood at the top of the screen there.
I see it. And that's basically right across the street from Sierra Cove. Yep, I know exactly
where that is. Across from Pineda.
Yep, across from Pineda.
And then our Del Webb at Viera, that really going hot and heavy as well right now with their construction. And that is our active adult community.
So needless to say, people always ask me, They're like, well, is there going to still be lots? I'm like, yes. As you can see,
There's a lot.
We still have a whole bunch of lots and homes to come. I mean, 5,000 residential units in Village 2. So guys, you're good. You're safe. But, just know that, I mean, it's going to be exciting.
There's definitely more to come.
There's more to come.
So I'm going to let you talk about Pangea.
Yeah. So Pangea Park right now is our current collection that we are building. I would say like our kind of premier single family community within Viera for Viera builders, right? After we finish Sierra Cove and Stonecrest and some of those communities, Pangea is the bee's knees right now. It comprises of a couple different collections. So from the Aries, the 45 collection, the 50s Larissa, the 60s Phoenix, the 65 Gallery, which is our largest, and also the 55 Stella community. Now, this particular community is unique in the sense that we've introduced brand new elevations here, which is kind of what you're showing here.
Coastal farmhouse.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's historically, we always had A, B, and C, right? Where A was just a standard elevation, B would have the porch, and C would have like the nice stone in the front. I love it because we did change it. So now what we have is you have your Craftsman, which is your A elevation. You have your Modern Coastal, which is elevation B. And then the farmhouse look, which is elevation C, which is very, very pretty. So Pangea is also unique in the sense that there's it's divided almost in half. So the HOA, you have one side that is going to be fully maintained in terms of what I may fully maintain, I mean your landscaping. So all exterior landscaping is included.
And irrigation.
And then the other side of the community, it's not. So the homeowner is in charge of their landscaping. Yeah.
What I also find interesting about Pangea is that Viera Builders brought together different product types in the same community. So you'll also have your villa product in there as well.
Which has sold great, both in Lauren Cove and Avalonia.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
There's also amenity in the center. That'll be a pool, playground, tennis/pickleball courts. That's where the mail kiosk will be.
But no clubhouse.
No. Well, there'll just be a pavilion.
It'll be a pavilion. That's what I tell people.
It'll be very similar to the North Salerno Pavilion. Or East Wind Pavilion, excuse me.
Cool.
And I know Edgar just mentioned HOA, so I am actually president of all of the developer-controlled HOAs. So I have the joy of managing Pangea as well.
And then LaRasia. So for those of you who have built homes or seen, so first I think it started with Carrington. Carrington was our first semi-custom gated community that Viera Builders kind of started with, I would say, in this kind of Addison Village area. Then we moved on to Stonecrest, which was like almost like what I kind of say like phase 2 of that project, because we took kind of the same homes. It was also gated, also semi-custom. LaRasia now I feel like is a little bit different, right? Although it's still semi-custom, it's going to be gated. There's new floor plans. I feel like every time that we evolve, right, when we take one community or one particular product line and we evolve it, it gets better, right? And I always tell people we take good floor plans and they become great, right? And mention the fact that in this community you could sit with an architect, you could kind of make some changes. And this is going to be more of our higher end. This is our premier kind of, I say like our luxury product, right? For Viera Builders, tile roofs, big homes, right, in here.
Higher price points.
Higher price points, yeah.
Sure.
Yep.
What I find really interesting, again, from an HOA perspective, so you can see the green spots in the middle. Those are conservation areas. So will be trails back in there. We're actually going in a very interesting new direction for our amenities for this community. There will be little exercise pods along the trail.
Like outdoor
exercise pods, and there'll be a playground. A nice little gazebo over the lake. I mean, so we really kind of went back to the drawing board on, the amenities for this community, because Carrington and Stonecrest doesn't really have much in the way of amenities.
Yeah. No, this is going to be nice.
So LaRasia is definitely a step up for that. This is the Del Webb. This is a rendering of their amenity, which will be a 30,000 square foot amenity. With a cafe, multiple pools.
55 plus, right?
55 plus, yeah. Active adult. This is Arapica.
Yeah.
This is our other custom builder community that is underway in Village 2. Again, Arapica is something different than we've ever done before, which is there's no clear cutting going on. We actually want owners to preserve the trees. When you submit your house plan to the PRC, you actually have to submit a tree plan as well. It also has natural stormwater, swales. We're not doing underground stormwater.
Wow.
Everything is very natural, very kind of hunting, fishing camp feel to it for the clubhouse.
Yeah.
So we have two. We have an enclosed under air clubhouse, and there's also an open pavilion, fire pit, just really neat little amenity area. It will also be gated. And that's about it. That's about it for the images. So do you have any specific questions? Something you want to dive into?
No, I think we've gone through a good amount in this kind of short time. I don't even know how long, but I feel like it goes by fast.
It's so natural.
But it's great. And especially being the first one, I don't script this stuff too much. I kind of like to kind of sit and just have a natural conversation.
Yeah.
And I feel like with the slides that we have, the information that we were able to provide today is going to kind of make people either go, aha, or say, wow, I didn't know that, right? The last question that I'm going to be asking everybody.
Okay.
And I ask this to everyone, even people that I meet randomly or, I like to ask people, what's their favorite food? What is or your last meal, or maybe your mom made you something that you just have to have, or grandma or something. What is Eva Rey's go-to meal?
Oh my goodness. Well, what my go-to meal is, it's usually fast and on the run given my schedule. So my albatross, French fries.
French fries.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
From where? Or,
oh my goodness.
Do you make them at home or McDonald's? Yeah.
McDonald's is crazy good. Red Robin. I'm so sad to see that
Never
they closed.
Red Robin.
Oh man, those were good. Pretty much anywhere you go, I'll try the French fries. Even the waffle fries at Walk-Ons is really good. Now that's my cheat awful food. My son lives in Japan. He lives in Tokyo, and I'm obsessed with sushi and all of the foods of Japan. Love that. I got this magnificent figure through pizza, though. Love me some pizza.
Let's put it there. That's
it. That's the thing. But I cannot say no to French fries. That's my albatross.
That's good. I love it. French fries. McDonald's French fries, I think, are probably the best French fries.
I think they put drugs in them or something because they're just, they call my name all the time, and our office is so close.
So look, I just wanted to say thank you so much. I know you're very, very busy. So for taking the time out and to kind of come here, I really appreciate it.
This is so much fun. Thank you.
The amount of information that you've given us today and to the viewers, hopefully this is going to be very helpful to existing residents and also to future people or future residents who want to come. Eva Rey, thank you so much. Appreciate your time. I think that's it. I think it's a wrap. Episode 1 is over.
Peace out.